Hey guys, it's Will here with another Wednesday update coming in from the new year. So, first Wednesday update of this year. To that, Happy New Year, guys. Hope you had a good one. I know it's been really crazy, but here we are, new year, new hopes. We're starting to get restocks back in, so keep an eye out. We're slowly getting things in. I know our suppliers are behind, so we'll get stuff out to you as soon as we can. But to help us distract from that, we have a huge week kicking it off this year, going in with a bunch of books from Marvel, Image, DC, all that noise. So taking a look here, as you kind of see already through the video, we have a bunch. So that is not really much else to talk about. Again, just the usual things. Check up on our Discord, our YouTube, our Instagram, all the links down below in the description. Hop on there. Fridays is when we do our events. We do it on the Discord from 3 to 8. So if you're looking for Warhammer, D&D, Magic, painting, talking, Q&As, we have stuff on there. We also have File Guys and Gals exclusive stuff on there for you too, where you get to see a bunch of things behind the scenes and get private little streams that we do from time to time. With that, let us get into this video. So starting at the top, we have Spider-Man. Marvel is doing, to celebrate Marvel/Disney buying Fox, I believe, they're doing a bunch of Aliens vs. Predators variants, starting with Spider-Man. They'll be bringing them out over time. But we got Buffy, we got Crossover, which is a huge book. One of the biggest, I think, it had to have been one of the biggest sort of rights paying for sort of shenanigans in comic history, because there's a lot of characters in there, including like Batman, Spawn, DC, Marvel, Image, Boom, all that stuff is in there. Dynamite, all the big guys, Aftershocks. And we got this week's number one, we got Eternals. They're back. So if you guys like them, no, I wasn't a huge fan of them, but I do love their covers. They do get some really nice art done for them every time they come back. But that's on that shelf. And then coming down here, we have Firepower. I can speak. Kirkman, if you're watching this, I doubt you ever will. But if you do, you're the man. You're awesome. You're the cool uncle of the comic world. We need more guys like you. Everything you write is just good. So, from what I've heard from people that met you, you're just a pretty good, fun guy to chill with. So, yeah, that'd be awesome someday to meet you, but probably never will happen. But, anyways, going into that in my ramble over and fangirling over Kirkman, go to the first of our future states. So, for those who are getting DC, they're doing this thing called Future State, which is going to be covering the next 2 months as DC kind of goes on like a semi-hiatus to figure out what's going on. I know there's a huge fear over this G15 or something like that, G5, like the internet G5 or whatever, that people are complaining that they're going to change all these characters to be things that is hot topics in society. And if that didn't, and then another version of that is if it didn't sell well, DC was just going to cancel physical printings and just give like the big ones like Batman over to like Marvel to print, or like IDW, and then the rest was going to be digital or just the movies. Those fears are, at least for now, pushed away with this. This is what they were talking about, the G5 stuff, the 5G stuff. There you go. This is Future State. So this is kind of like what ifs in the future, kind of like a futuristic version of Tales of the Dark Multiverse, except for Batman Beyond. It did. So we got this week starting with Batman, Harley Quinn, Flash, as you can see, and we do have main covers if you don't want them. Swamp Thing, Superman, Wonder Woman, and the one that kind of starts the whole thing on itself, if you don't want to read the Times, which is Shadow Generations. If you guys are reading the mainline stuff, you'll get your version of it. So if you're reading Wonder Woman, like I am, you'll get the Wonder Woman Future State. All of them are 2 or 3 parters, excluding Batman, I believe, which is a 9-parter. But that's their big title. That one, maybe Justice League, I think, is about 4 pieces. But Generations is going to be like a beginning and an end. So number 1, beginning. When everything's done, number 2 will come out. Then we have our second Alien vs. Predator cover on the shelf. I believe they're all scenes from the movies. Inkblot. I really love Inkblot. If you guys want a really good like fantasy book, but you learn it's good. If you want a good fantasy book that and you want some fun and shenanigans, but you don't want super serious fantasy or super kiddie fantasy, go with this book. I can ramble on a lot about it. I love it because it reminds me of my cat, my roommate's cat. But it's a fun time. If you know me, I Hate Fairyland and all that stuff. And it feels that fancy without being too I Hate Fairylandish. You got Iron Man. Iron Man's, this new series has been really good. I know Tony can be hit or miss, but this one's actually pretty good. Juggernaut seems to be popular, which it deserves it because it is actually a pretty nice book. It's a fun time. It's not the best, but it's a good one about Juggernaut and him possibly trying to reform and become a good guy. And we got the one that I'm actually pretty excited to read this week. We got, for the King in Black stuff, we got Valkyrie. So they're all coming back. And they got each version of Valkyrie in the comics have their own sort of cover to represent that. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Marvel Tales, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are back in a book just called Mighty Morphin. So I think these are about the people before the kids in the show. So like the aliens before them that had it. Then we have Miles, of course, with his cover. MODOK. We got Resistance Reborn's a one-shot on that one. This Upshot company, actually really good. They just kind of came out of nowhere, but they have some really good stuff. I really love their Archangel series, and their it's either Bad Mother or Red Mother, one of the two. Both are good, but one of the two I really liked. Scout's Honor looked interesting. That one I definitely recommend reading. Hence why pick of the week is those two. And we got Spider-Woman, where she's in the power loader for the variant. Star Wars. The next huge book that's out this week, High Republic. So for those who want to sort of like in between, if I remember it correctly from how I was told about it by Mike, if you want in between from Knights of the Old Republic to episode 1, this is the book that you'd want to read. I believe it's like definitely way past KOTOR, but a few hundred years before episode 1. So that's going to be interesting. We got Symbiote Spider-Man, the man himself, Thor. Those books have been hella good with his aliens cover. So it looks like pulse rifles, flamethrowers, and Thor's hammer are the only things that can kill aliens. And we got Transformers, Venom with his cover. I like that. It's the alien with the tongue, and he has his tongue. And last but not least, we have Walking Dead and X Factor. So, a lot of big books this week, guys. Talked about a lot. If you guys want any more suggestions about the books, always feel free to ask me or Mike when you come in during the morning. Again, we're still stuck with our limit, so it's 5 customers at a time. So if you come in early, just come through the door, take a look around. If you're unsure, please ask. One of us will most likely always be at the till for the first 20 minutes because it's always the busiest. And we can let you know if you have to wait in your car for a couple of minutes. Usually the guys are pretty good at, once they see someone wanting to come in, they'll get through quickly. But with that, we're going to look at what's coming in for graphic novels. We can push this back here, not the book that's under it. These are the graphic novels for this week. So with that, we are going to call it huge week. I'm going to go grab the sign and go cash out. But with that, we will see you guys in the next video.